What's up everyone, welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel, and in this video I'm gonna show you how you can use different scales to bring refreshness to the Psytrance scene. I honestly believe that the whole scene is getting monotonous, and mostly we all use almost the same scales. So to do a kind of refreshment and to try to change something in my music as well, I went back and I started listening to the older music when I remember there was a usage of different scales and many different kind of melodies and other things. So I found out a track made from GMS and Talamasca called High Vibes, and I really like this track, as I do remember that specifically GMS, they used to use different kind of scales and different melodies that are always reminding me on some kind of a spooky cartoons, something like Beetlejuice, Addams Family, etc, etc. So I came up to one of my favorite tracks from back then, GMS and Talamasca, High Vibes, and then I recreated all the melodies in order to understand what did they use and what kind of scales they used. So the half of the scene today are using almost the same scales, Middle Eastern scales, Firjan and other double harmonic scales that are always reminding us on Oriental music, and mostly like kind of a Goa melodies are the ones that people are using mostly. So in order to do so, I kinda implemented and I tried to find which kind of the scale they were using, even though it's really hard because they use only several notes from that scales. But anyway, I came up to the certain pattern or the formula which we can use in order to create something like kind of spooky cartoons. So I recreated the patch from the beginning in the Dune 3, and I did implement a little bit of kind of a tremolo in the notes, so that way that I use the LFO and to kind of fine-tune the pitch of each note so they oscillate on every 132s. So something sounding like this. So the melody from that track went something like... So mostly when we use, this track was in A, and mostly when we use today, like let's say A, and then the perfect fifth is E. And then the next transpose note in most cases will be the F, so the +1 or the one semitone above the perfect fifth, like... But I got really surprised to understand that all of these spooky melodies, they were used something different. So it was used like -1 or -1 semitone from the perfect fifth, something like... So this combination of the notes creating something kind of a spooky. So the whole track I did here is something similar to it, and I did use the same scales and I did try to implement similar stuff, even though that I might be risking for someone to say that I'm copying someone else, but I don't see it that way. What I did is that I analyzed what is that they use that I used to like that much, and then try to create completely the new melodies and the new arrangement in this track that is going to remind me and give the same emotional feeling to it. So in the first part of the track, I do have something that's kind of normal, conventional. So I have the D sharp, because this track, the root keynote is in a D sharp. Then I have the C sharp. Again, the up above or the octave one above is the D sharp, and then I use the E. So this is something like... This is something that I use usually and that I was using for many years, but then in the second half of the track I used a different, and I tried to use the same notes that GMS was using in this track with Talamasca. So basically it's a D sharp, then it's an F sharp, then again it's a D sharp, and then I use the F note, F sharp, A, and then I transpose it from the A sharp to the A. So something sounding like this. And then second. So let's hear all these melodies in the context of the full track, and I really dig this track, especially because I brought some type of the refreshments thanks to the Talamasca and GMS, and this is something that I really want to encourage all of you, that we can start using many different scales in order to find something that's gonna sound more refreshing and interesting. There were many artists that were using different scales back then. I remember Manog first album, I remember GMS was always using this kind of the melodies and scales that were reminding me of some spooky cartoons. So let's hear what I created for this video.
Drugs gonna kick in. Drugs gonna kick in.
So that would be all for this video. I really want to start making shorter videos with a bit more attention and a little bit faster pace, so I don't want to bother you too much. And I really hope that you like this video. Thank you very much for watching and see you soon with another video. Bye.